My name is Larry Sawicki and I work for Pima County Regional Wastewater Department in Tucson, Arizona. And we're a utility that protects the public health and also the environment. We have a large facility called the Tres Rios Wastewater Reclamation Facility. And then we have a sister plant, just a little smaller than us, called Agua Nueva. We have a number of smaller satellite facilities located throughout the county, and we call them sub-regional facilities. And then on top of that, we also have the lift stations that delivers all of the wastewater to our treatment plants, and we have a SCADA system for that, and we call it conveyance SCADA. In 2008, I was tasked with a job to bring it all together and make a centralized control facility for the entire enterprise. And once we did that and we constructed it, what we saw were big differences in the presentation, the visualization. And it took the operators a long time to be trained because we were each of them were different. During that time, we had a SCADA master plan that was created. And what it did was define what we needed to unify our entire system. Part of that meant changing the product we use for software to a more modern product and to define standards. And we defined a visualization standard utilizing situational awareness. There's nothing that can beat your eyes, ears, nose, as you walk around to physically be there in front of the equipment. So we developed electronic surrounds. It involves not only looking at the stranded assets, but the equipment condition. If it's not operating correctly, and they could switch it out of service and put something in its place. The other thing we put in was a secured area, demilitarized zone. And inside there, we put a product which is a portal. And in addition, there's a historian inside that demilitarized zone. What I did is I wrote a little piece of software that converts information from our laboratory information system and takes quality controlled laboratory information from process samples taken from our plants and puts it into that enterprise historian in the DMZ. What that gives management and what it gives operations and decision makers the ability to see is what the operation is doing, what the cost of the operation is doing. And we coupled that with one other piece. We put up another piece of software in the DMZ on a server that allows people with not a lot of computing experience, they're not controls people, but they are familiar with the process and they were able to develop reports. So they're able to access the DMZ historian and prepare reports and disseminate them to management. It allows them to help control costs, helps them to call operations and say, hey, you know, they need to turn down the amount of chemical usage, maybe control their use of electricity, okay, during certain times of the day. And now that we have devised it in such a way that we put all those pieces and we make a model of it, we apply the model multiple times, multiple instances of that model. What happens when we have to go and do this again at another plant, chances are we've already modeled that. We just bring those pieces over that we need to make. That saves a lot of time, and you could spend your time architecting it well, and then rolling it out actually is not too difficult. What amazes me is that we were able to bring it all together and make it uniform. And do so within the last 6 or so years. And that includes multiple plants. I mean, if you plan it well up front, it pays off.